You will learn through many ways, through many maze, through many darkness, through many glorious nights. You will yearn for the sky, for the rebirth, and for the light, at times not found here on earth. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. Not all those who wander are lost. Not all those who wander are lost. Not all those who wander are lost. A journey is a journey, shamanic or not. Whether here on earth or in the dream world, we are journeying, traveling to many places, many spaces. Is it real? When does it begin? When does it end? Where are you now? In the dream? In the journey? On the floor, on the ground? Flying through space, through stars, through time? Smelling the flowers, licking the sand. Where are you now? Where are you not? The journey is just the beginning. I traveled today. I went quite far, deep, deep into the recesses of my mind, into the recesses of your mind, of our mind, through metaphor, through belief, through archetype, through story. I traveled deep. I traveled deep into the worlds. I saw so many things from afar, up close. First I was wolf, playing, fighting, scrambling, laughing joyfully. I was alone, I was with many. I traveled in a pack. And then I flew, I turned into eagle, dropping mice from the sky, glittering, sparkling dust upon the world. I flew high, I flew high, I flew high. Into the sun I traveled, I burned, I burned. I shifted, I shaped into something new. Are you changing? Are you transforming too? I let it all burn. And then I traveled to the moon. The cold, dark sun of the moon drew me closer. I had to go look behind to see what was there. And then I sliced it open and I looked inside. To my surprise, I found a whole world. Flowers, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous flowers. Trees, birds, plants, animals. It was all there in the moon. Surprisingly, what seems like a cold, dark place turned into this beautiful, welcoming, joyful, extravagant, exotic, luscious jungle. It was biodiversity. And from there, I flew around the universe, sprinkling dust. I couldn't quite grasp what I was. I knew I wasn't what I was before, but I sort of felt like a fairy. I've been visited by the fairies a lot in the last 6 months. They come and tickle my face during shamanic journeying, brushing up against my skin, whispering messages, codes, things to follow, things to do in order to get the work done. So I guess I was a fairy. I felt like a fairy. I was flying through space, through the cosmos, sprinkling diamonds. That's right. I forgot, but when I went into the sun, my heart was melting. As I was melting and transforming, my heart was melting. At first it was glass, and then slowly it transformed into a diamond. That's what we're supposed to do, right? That's what we're all here to do. Transform that fleshy, meaty heart into a hard, cold diamond. It doesn't really sound nice when you say it that way. An impenetrable diamond. Brilliant and sparkling. A heart that can keep on loving despite everything that's thrown at us. From friend, from foe, from child, from mother, from father, from wife, from society. It's that diamond heart that will keep us going, that will keep us in conversation, that will keep us moving towards something greater, a synthesis of some kind, a solution, a plan, collaboration, cooperation, unity. We need unity more than anything right now. And so the deeper I traveled, the more I spread these diamonds throughout the cosmos, sprinkling them on the world, on the planet. And slowly, I started to transform as I looked over and saw the moon and what I had found inside. To my surprise, I was slowly turning into. But I was a tree. I was a great big tree. And then it dawned on me. I was Yggdrasil. I was the yew tree. And I saw it from the inside, the smell, the taste, the high, the vibration. What it was to be everything and nothing. To be the cause. To be the resistance. I was everything. As I was journeying in that tree, as that tree. What was that tree? The journey kept on moving. The drum was beating fast, faster and faster and faster. I couldn't stop the visions. I tried to keep track. I began to see the fairies. The fairies were everywhere. And I couldn't determine what they were doing at first, but they were traveling with these little pieces of communication. That's as much as I could identify it. They were pieces of communication, like maybe little letters. But they were sparkles, they were electricity, they were light. And they were moving between the different worlds. And I was watching them move between one world to the next. I was able to see how the various worlds were interacting as well. Fire and ice. Playfully smashing up against each other. Creating this beautiful synthesis, this primordial energy, this creative, passionate flow of energy, source that many of the other worlds were using. It was a source of light, a source of creativity. And slowly, I began to see more clearly what these metaphors were. And as I looked down, I noticed there was a great big ocean, perhaps the Well of Urd. I dove down into the ocean. And there were so many creatures, magnificent, terrifying, beautiful. They had so many different colors. And I rode the back of this gorgeous, glistening dolphin. It wasn't a dolphin, but it looked like one. And then I spotted a whale, a giant, huge whale. And I couldn't resist. I went towards it. This magnificent whale. The waters became darker. It was moving deeper and deeper. It seemed like there was no end. There was no bottom to this ocean. And the whale swallowed me. And I moved through it and came out. And then we became one. And as I was in this whale, as I was this whale, as I had become this whale, I could see what these waters were, what these worlds were, how the worlds are fed. The worlds pull up this water, and as they drink the water from the well, they are nourished, they are transformed, they become that which is in the water. And I noticed that each world represented a different part of the human psyche, right? The different dimensions and levels of consciousness. And each world also represented the various people on the planet and the various tribes. It was the microcosm and the macrocosm, the macrocosm and the microcosm, and as much as each world is a part of our psyche, it is also, each world is a part of a specific grid of consciousness created by a specific tribe. They are both simultaneously one. And as the waters are drawn up into the 9 worlds, they are affecting every mind. The 9 worlds are the mind, the one mind, but they are also the individual minds of people living on those various worlds within the universe. And it was just so clear, helped me transcend, comprehend on a whole new level our interconnectedness as a species, how it's all interconnected and overlaying one on top of the other. And as each person drank from that well, it created their destiny. It created who they were by the way it nourished their thoughts. And if they allowed those thoughts to move through them without taking control of them and altering them or transforming them, then as the water came back out of them and the rain fell back down into the ocean, it was giving back exactly what it had received. It was giving back exactly what it had received. And then the cycle continued. That's the never-ending loop. But I also saw how we, within our own minds, within each of these worlds, within our own minds, within each part of our psyche, we are nourishing. We are able to transform. We can consciously take control and change our thoughts, changing the perspective, changing what we pay attention to, what we retract from, what we push and pull towards and against, and then we are shaping them, we are molding them, we are creating them. We are no longer conforming to them. And that creates a different frequency of water, of rain, that can shower back down into the ocean, into the well of Ord, altering the whole ocean and the waters from which every person and every mind feeds. It was a really powerful vision. It came in so clearly. This interconnectedness, because we are responsible for our own thoughts and for increasing the vibration of each thought we have, of every story we tell, so that we can produce this vapor, this mist that rains back down into the ocean and then feeds the psyche, feeds the 9 worlds, feeds the tribes, feeds all of humanity with a better quality water, with a different destiny, with a different fate. It's all in our hands. And if we take responsibility for ourselves and our own thoughts, we can surely learn to master how to operate in a way where we're also altering the thoughts of others to increase the quality, to nourish the other, so that their minds are producing this vapor, this mist, this rain that rains back down into the well with better thoughts. It's all connected. It's all connected. And the fairies, the fairies, what they were doing there they were moving between worlds, between these different parts of the psyche. And almost like neurotransmitters or these little electrical impulses. And they were balancing and harmonizing what needed to get harmonized between the worlds. That was what they were doing. That was their purpose. And it was so beautiful that they shared this secret with me. And so I'm sharing it with you. And in the Nordic mythology, there is the evil wolf, Vanir, the monster within the psyche. Who is this monster? Is it the cold-hearted? Is it the purely evil, the malevolent, the completely destructive? What is the monster? What does it represent? And I saw the monster. I saw it there. From the corner of my eye, I looked over, and there it was. And I was still on the shamanic journey. What should I do with this monster? I couldn't leave it there. It would destroy the worlds. That's what it says in the books, anyway. So I had to find a way to do something with this grotesque monster. But I didn't feel so afraid of it, and it was locked up. It wasn't running around in the worlds. It was contained. And I went over to it, and I put my hand through the cage, and I just gently touched it. It didn't bite me, and I felt bad for this monster. I really did. And I fed it berries. They kind of look like holly berries. And this monster, in a sense, thanked me. And I knew at that point that I couldn't kill it, I couldn't release it. I really didn't know what I could do with this monster, but I had to find a solution. So I cut a slit. I cut a slit in the universe. I knew it was risky, but it was the only thing I could think of doing. And I dragged the cage, the ginormous cage, all the way over to the slit that I had cut in the universe. And I pulled it through. I pulled it through to the other side, and what I saw was not that pretty. It was a black universe. The mountains were black, the sky was black, the sun was black. The waters were black, everything was black, and there were more of these monsters running around, but they didn't seem unhappy. They seemed joyful in their monstrous ways. And so slowly I opened the cage and I let out Fenrir. And he ran off. He didn't even try to attack me. And I quickly slid back through the slit. And I was a fairy. I had this magical dust concoction that I was able to seal up the slit with. And I used gold. I stitched it with gold. And then I put this magical sticky glue on it, and at first it was scarred. But eventually, after continuing to work on it, it disappeared completely. The slit was no longer there. It's as though I had never been there. And this monster was gone. And I was brought back to the 9 worlds, the 9 parts of the psyche. And I couldn't help but feel like something was missing, like maybe I shouldn't have sent this monster away. But I just knew I had to. It wasn't a part of this world. It never was a part of this world. It was somehow brought here in a way that was not normal. It was not part of what was meant to be. It was not part of what was meant to be here. It never was. It never was. And I knew it was happy. I saw it run off. It was joyful in its monstrous way. And I began to simply be in gratitude for being given this vision, this understanding of the mind and the water, and how it flows through each of us and flows back down into the well and then back up again. And each time we alter our thoughts, we are altering destiny. We are altering the fate of every living human being on this planet. We are altering each other's psyches. We are shaping the future. It was uplifting. It gave purpose. It truly gave me purpose to not only be incredibly responsible for my own thoughts, but also to learn all of the ways of interconnectedness with the thoughts of others, and how we can change and shape and structure things in a way where we are allowing that transmutation to happen, that exchange to happen in a way between minds, between people, between psyches, where we are constantly increasing the quality so that we can increase the nourishment in the waters and the wells. Storytelling for our times. Not all those who wander are lost. Some of us are fairies. Which part of your psyche are you working with? Can you identify the different parts, the different worlds within yourself? Can you see how they are changing and transforming the waters that feed the world, that feed everybody else's psyche, that feed your psyche? We're all interconnected. I want to thank the fairies. Both human and not.